Hi, we are going to study Newton's laws of motion. Actually, we are going to enjoy Newton's laws of motion. But before enjoying Newton's laws of motion, we will observe one experiment because Newton himself observed that experiment, observed that concept, and from that concept, he developed these three laws. Therefore, it is very important to study that experiment which was conducted by Galileo. This was the experiment. What was the experiment? Very simple experiment. Why Galileo conducted that experiment? Because before Galileo, what was the assumption? Assumption was that force is required for constant velocity. Galileo was first scientist who discovered that force is not required for constant velocity. He made a simple experiment. Suppose this is plane surface but having slope downward and upward. Means suppose we are going from this side, then you will say this slope is downward, and if you are going in this direction, slope is upward. Now one object is placed at this point and you have to assume that there is no friction. If there is no friction, then there is no loss of energy. When this object is released from this height, from this reference level, suppose height is h, then it will come down. Why? Because there is gravitational force. Means force is in downward direction along slope. Actually force is exactly downward direction because gravitational force is toward the center of earth, but we have to take its component. Now that is a different thing, okay, but force is along the slope in downward direction. Therefore its velocity will continuously increase. Means velocity and force are in the same direction. Therefore its velocity will continuously increases up to bottom point. This is bottom point. At this point it achieves some velocity, then it will not get stopped. It will continue its journey in this direction. Means again there will be the velocity in this direction. But as this velocity is continuously increases, from this point, from bottom point in upward direction, velocity will go decreasing because force is in downward direction for this slope too. Means direction of force is opposite. You can observe direction of forces are in downward direction, but velocity in this case is downward, but in this case velocity is upward. Means this object will move in upward direction with decreasing velocity and it will get stopped at particular point. If there is no friction, then it will achieve the same height as before and it will reaches at this point. Means as forces in direction of velocity or in direction opposite to velocity velocity will change. In this case, force assists velocity, therefore velocity increases. In this case, force opposes velocity, therefore velocity decreases. This was the simple experiment by Galileo. Now, one question is, suppose this slope is at some different angle. Suppose slope is in this angle. Then this object will go in this direction, but again it will achieve same height because there is no loss of energy, because we have assumed that there is no friction. When it achieves the same height, you can observe this distance is greater than this distance. Means for same initial condition, we will get different distance. Suppose again this slope is decreased, then again it will achieve more distance for same condition. And suppose there is no slope. If slope is 0, suppose this surface is horizontal, there is no possibility to achieve height h after this point, means it will travel continuously up to infinity, because for this direction, for horizontal direction, there is no force. If there is no force, there is no change in velocity. Means this body, suppose it is going in this direction, this body will have a tendency to maintain its velocity constant forever. And this tendency, this property possessed by that body is named as inertia. If force is not applied. And this name given by Galileo, that is the inertia, means every body possesses inertia. From this concept, Newton developed 3 laws. We will learn first law from this concept. Very simple concept. What is the concept? If there is no force, body will travel continuously with constant velocity. But in the Newton's form or format, what Newton said, every inanimate body, what is meant by inanimate? It is derived from animation, means animal. I am also animal, human being. Animal can move by itself, but this non-living object, duster or this marker or anything, chair, are not moving by themselves. We have to apply force, then they will move. Therefore, every inanimate body remains in the state of rest condition if force is not applied, or it will remain in constant velocity if force is not applied. This is Newton's first law of motion. Okay, means if force is not applied, velocity of body remains constant. This is Newton's first law. If force is not applied, then velocity remains constant. This is a rough statement for first law of motion. And this law is developed by Newton, that's why it is called Newton's first law of motion. Now, final statement will be, if force is not applied, or you can say if external force is not applied to any inanimate body, then that body remains at a rest condition or remains in constant velocity condition. Okay.